Welcome to my channel. Today's video has to do with the arrogance of man and or woman because we're all prone to it. And the arrogance that I speak of currently is the idea that fire will not affect the homes that we purchase in the neighborhoods we purchase them in. And that is just arrogance beyond belief. Because fire can affect anyone in any state, anywhere, in any country. Some areas are less prone to fire, and some areas are have higher potential for fire. But every human habitable dwelling area has a fire risk. Again, some are lower, some are higher. In the United States of America, the continental United States of America, one of the most frequent areas to burn is Arizona. And Arizona is nothing but rock and desert. And their fire frequency is extremely high. This is unusual because you would think that rock and desert-like terrain wouldn't burn very often. But the minor fires that happen spread very quickly, and then they get to the housing developments, and then the housing developments catch and go on fire. And in the process, they've failed to adequately protect their homes from those fires, which causes insurance claims to go out of proportion. In California, here in California, we have a similar problem, and it's getting worse because we have arson to blame. People are setting their cars on fire and throwing them off cliffs, and then catching whole neighborhoods on fire. And this is terrible. So here's some options for you homeowners out there and building owners and property management owners. 1, follow your guidelines with your local fire department on fire abatement. Absolutely follow their guidelines. Do your defensive perimeter. That's a great start. 2, it costs about $300 to $400, depending on your local area and labor, to put sprinklers on your roof. And the sprinklers can sprinkle a 20 to 40 foot radius off of house pressure. Now, I get it. When the fire department taps your hydrant, your house pressure goes to 0. But before they get there, if you turn your sprinkler on and it's wetting down everything, ashes falling from the sky onto your property are much less likely to burn your property. That's 2. 3, install swales on the downhill side of your property. Every property has a little bit of a slope, and if the building is here, fires race uphill to go to the building, and you put swales in across the barrier of your fire, and that'll help mitigate and control fires. And it gives firemen a place to run left and right away from the fire instead of running uphill and getting killed by fire. That's 3. 4, plant species that have a very high gel factor. We're talking your succulents, your agaves. We're talking your agapanthus. We're talking things that have thick, fleshy, liquid gel-like structures. Your cactuses, your jades, your succulents. Again, these are almost impossible to burn in a cold fire. In a firestorm, there's nothing you can do. Absolutely nothing you can do. A firestorm is going to come, it's going to burn everything. But you give yourself a chance to get out. That's 4. 5, there is a product on the market that can be blended with paint that makes the house less prone to fire. And it's an additive to latex-based paints and stains that can be sprayed onto the house, and fire will hit it and it'll foam out and resist fire dramatically. The next one is a ceramic coating. Again, you spray on your fire retardant material with your paint, and then you coat it with a ceramic coating of clear coat. And yes, I get it. It's expensive to do initially because painters are not cheap and the product costs about $120 a gallon, but you can mix it to your paint and spread it out at their ratios, because they have a mixture ratio, and then you put on the ceramic coating, and again, it's expensive, but what's more expensive? That initial coating or replacing your house and having to pay for the insurance, the increased insurance for the rest of your life? These are very inexpensive comparatively to replacing the home. A home can be $300,000 to $1 million, and a paint job for a standard home can be $7,000. So you don't want to spend $7,000 to protect $250,000. Priorities, man. Priorities. You don't want to spend $350 to put sprinklers on your roof to protect your property, your $300,000 property or more. Priorities, man. Priorities. You don't want to install vegetation that doesn't burn, so that way when a fire comes through, it goes around your property. Priorities, man. Priorities. You don't want to put in ditches on contour to hold back water and grow lusher greenery, and you want to complain about fire hazards. Priorities, man. Priorities. These are the priorities that we have to set for making sure that we as citizens protect our property, because the fire department's job is not to protect your property, it's to protect everyone's property. Your property is not their priority. Their priority is health and safety of the citizens in general. So if you're relying on the fire department to put a fire out in your house, you have to be in a very tightly knit community with a lot of people for the fire department to have enough manpower to actually come to your specific house in a random event with no other houses burning in the area, not a wildfire. They're not there to protect your property in a wildfire. They're there to protect the general population. And the fire department, anywhere in the country, the continental United States, does not have enough manpower, trucks, or equipment to actually protect the whole community. So they have to allocate resources to generally help the community, not the specific individual. So it's your job as an individual to maintain your property and protect it from fire. If you have any questions about this, leave a comment down below. If you like this kind of content, you can hit the thumbs up button. If you really like this content, you can subscribe to my channel. If you really, really, really like this content, you can share this with a friend. We need to be responsible as citizens in the United States of America and not wait for the government to fix it for us. Have a great day.